All plays, like whole sports all plays, whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information, hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
All right, what's up, sports fans? Welcome to the ASAP Afternoon Blitz. I'm Chris, joined by Jay McLovin today, joined by also by Deontay. How you guys doing today?
Well, I'm doing pretty good, man. No complaints, really, man. Kind of waiting to see how these Astros do this evening. And Frankie's going to play the Boston Red Sox, so it should be a pretty good Friday evening. But yeah, man, it's a pretty good day.
Astros play the Athletics, right?
Yeah, we got an easy one tonight. We should have. I say it should be an easy one. It's open day. It's not really too much of a big deal. I'm just trying to gain ground on Frankie right now.
I was getting stuff ready for my sports betting show, and I thought I remembered that they were playing the Athletics.
Yeah.
How you think our Reds doing? How you think our Reds going to do today, Chris?
Oh man, they're probably going to struggle. They did win one game last night. They went 1-1 against the Pirates in that doubleheader, but they're playing the Rays today, and the Rays have a good pitching staff, and the Reds pitching staffs we got good starters. Our bullpen's terrible.
Well, I always say when you're in the times like this, hopefully you're drafting well, building up that farm system so you can come out blazing in a few years. As long as you're building up that farm, you'll be okay.
Yeah, at least with baseball, that can happen. It's all about drafting and development. It's not mainly a star sport. So you guys will be fine. There's teams that have been terrible one year. The next thing you know, they're one of the best teams in baseball.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's been a couple of years ago, the Washington Nationals was the worst team in baseball at the All-Star break, and then they ended up winning the World Series that year.
Well, that was the same way with last year's Braves, too, though. I mean,
yep.
And the Braves weren't the best team in the world.
I tell you, being up here in Atlanta, how the Braves, like when I go down to that area, like the Battery area, where all the restaurants, the Braves fans are some of the wildest fans I've met in sports.
They're out there.
That's why I always say baseball really don't start till after the All-Star break, because so much can happen after the All-Star break and change the whole season.
I agree.
You just got to keep yourself close enough where you have a chance.
And that's just it, though, because I know the Astros' second half of the season. I mean, it's pretty chock full of above 500 teams. Like you got Tampa's in there. I know they got the Phillies in there. We got the Yankee double hitter in there. I mean, there's a lot. I think Cleveland is also in there, and I think the White Sox. I mean, there's a lot of good baseball teams in that second half. Whereas our first half, we had a good series. Like I said, we had the Mets Yankees back-to-back series. So there was. But again, there's a lot of interdivision too, so there's a lot of I call it fluff in there. But
yeah,
the second half of this season for the Astros is definitely going to be very compelling baseball for sure.
Do you think that Houston has a tougher second half than they did first half?
Oh yeah, well, yes and no. I mean, I say yes because we're playing more teams that are above 500, but I say no because that stretch of the Yankees, Mets. Back to Yankees, back to Mets, back to. I mean, there's a lot of in a row that whole stretch. That 12-game stretch or whatever. I mean, that's a lot. We could have easily gone down in that one. So again, the tail end of that was I think it was more brutal. But the stretch of the second half of the season is, in my opinion, is brutal as well. So it kind of goes both ways.
My dad said the Reds was in the playoffs. not long ago. Yeah, they were in the playoffs a couple of years ago. We barely missed it last year. We decided to blow the team up. But hey, that's how baseball is. Plus, I think we need a new manager. I think David Bell. I've been saying he's needed fired for about 3 years now. But actually, since we're already talking about baseball, that was one of the top things I wrote down. With about a week before the All-Star break, who would be your World Series favorites?
Oh God. If you look at the American League side of it, I mean, I'm not going to discount Toronto. I'm not going to discount Minnesota.
Let's
but
be real, Jay. It's a Yankees or Astros.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, I mean, and that's just, and I don't, I mean, Boston, they've had glimpses, but I don't, and I think Boston gets a wild card. Toronto, I think possibly could get a wild. But yeah, man, I mean, look, the bullpen, the hitting of both teams right now is just as such that, I see Houston and Yankees getting buys, and I see Boston, Toronto, Minnesota, whatever, dueling it out in the wild card, whatever. And then, of course, but I do see it at Yankees and Astros, ALCS. I mean, I'd be very surprised if that wasn't the case. And then, of course, you look on the National League side, the Dodgers still are playing pretty good. San Diego's, of course, out there. And Atlanta, is making their comeback and doing well. So
you got the Mets, too.
Yeah, and you had the Mets. I mean, Scherzer just came off of that oblique strain, and of course, he fanned 10 against Gonzo's Cincinnati Reds. Poor Gonzo, he just can't get out of the limelight. but no, I mean, look, honestly, I think the Mets. I think it's going to come down to 3 teams. Mets. I think it's going to come to Mets, Dodgers, and Braves. I mean, I don't discount these Braves, man. After what they did last year, I mean, anything's possible with those guys.
I think there's a good chance we might see a Subway series this year.
The Battle of New York?
Yep.
No, so Gonzo, be quiet.
I think the same thing, Gonzo. Mets and Yankees.
I mean, well, that would be interesting.
Yankees are the best all-around team in baseball, though, if you got
Yeah.
Them. But I don't know. It's always the Astros during playoff time. They're always ready.
Well, and the thing about this year's Astros team versus the Astros team that went up against the Braves is our bullpen. Our starting pitching has always been our strong point, but our bullpen against the Braves, which is kind of vice versa, because the Braves bullpen was really, really good in the World Series, which is one of the reasons why they won. Not to mention, Soler and a couple other guys. What's that dude's name? Riley did have, he played real good. But the weakness to the Astros, which really it was their downfall, was their bullpen. Once we got past starting pitching and then into our bullpen, that's where we struggled against the Braves. And the reason why I say I don't think it's going to be a Subway series is because if you look at the last series that the Astros played against the Yankees, and I wish Frankie was here because God knows he'd be fuming right now. But I think in Frankie's heart of hearts as a baseball person, he would understand what I'm saying. And I told him throughout the entire time we were playing that series, I said, listen, if we get past your bullpen or your starting pitching and we get into your bullpen, you're done. And it happened every time with the exception of the first and last game. And, of course, those were ended in walk-offs. But if you look at it, when the Astros got past the Yankees starting pitching and we got into their bullpen, we crushed them. For the most part, we crushed them. And I think that once you see the ALCS pan out, especially since we're getting Lance McCullers back, which is another one of our aces, and then we put your Quiddy down into the bullpen, then you're going to see, again, when we go up against the Yankees, you're going to see when we get past their starting pitching and into their bullpen, that's going to be the difference maker. And I've told Frankie that. It's not going to be the hitting on either side that gets you to the pennant race or to the World Series. It's going to be who can dominate once you get to the bullpen. And I think the Astros, that's where we're going to have the edge.
And another thing, when you look at the Astros and the Yankees, if you look at their team batting average, it's real close. You look at their team ERA, it's real close. So, I mean, all their numbers are pretty close.
Yeah.
The Yankees, what could help them is they've had some injuries in their bullpen. If like Chapman comes back good, that'll help them. I know he's back now, but it's going to take him a little bit to get back in the swing of things, throwing like he was. He used to be a Cincinnati Red. He's one of the guys we let go once he wanted to get paid. And then they had another. Don't they have another reliever that's going to be coming back?
They had that. Well, Mercado or Murciado, whatever the hell you say his name.
They lost one of them for the year to Tommy John.
Green. They lost Green to the year. The only two they really have coming back would be Murciano and Chapman, which Chapman's already back.
I think in the ALCS it's going to be the Astros and Yankees, and I'm going Mets and Dodgers in the NLCS.
You don't think Atlanta's going to be up in there?
I don't know if if they're going to have enough pitching right now. But you can make a move. That's the thing. There's still. We
haven't really hit that trade deadline as of yet.
To be honest though, but the Dodgers are known to lose when they need to win.
Yep. Oh no, that's true.
So that's why I got the Mets and Yankees. I got the Mets and the Braves in the NL, and then it's a Houston and Yankees in the AL. But honestly, I got a rematch from last year. That's why I'm hoping.
Are you talking about the World Series, or are you talking about
the World Series rematch? A World Series rematch from last year.
I'm telling you, hey, that Braves team, man, after what I saw last year, I don't count them out. I don't count them out until we're in the playoffs and then we see what happens, because that team can just get caught on you.
I'm not counting them out. I'm not counting them out because they're not bad at all. They got a 3.65 team ERA, so their pitching staff isn't terrible by any means. A lot to do with them is if they're hitting the ball, and if at the beginning of the season they wasn't, they've started to hit the ball better here as of late.
And let's be honest, right now that the race between the Mets and the Braves is only 3.5. Yeah. That's nothing. You can make that up quick. So I mean, you have them face off one time, and if they can win that series, I mean, now it's just so close right now. It's going to be hard to call, but it's going to be interesting to watch. I think that's going to be probably one of the divisions I watch the most, just because of how close it is and what the Braves did to the Astros last year. I would love to see that rematch, to be honest with you, just so we can kind of go at it again. Huh?
We all have a dark horse team.
Ooh, dark horse. That's a good call, man. I think Toronto could be a dark horse team.
If Toronto's pitching could get on track, they could. I have the Cardinals in the National
the Rays or the Twins can do something.
No, Twins, no. No.
I think the Rays.
And I say that with all confidence. I don't think
with all confidence.
I'm serious. I watched that series. I watched the series against Houston, and I just don't think they have enough. Correa was a good pickup for him, don't get me wrong, but he wasn't enough to get them over the hump. I don't think they quite have that team as of yet.
Okay, I can see that. But
I think the Rays because of their pitching.
I see the Rays. The Rays, yeah, because they're pitching. The Twins, I'm not going to say I'm wholeheartedly sure, but I think Rays, and I think Jay said Toronto. Toronto's a good one.
Yeah. I see Toronto making a second half push after that All-Star break.
In the NL, I got the Brewers. I want to say the Padres, but I know I'll get disappointed saying the Padres.
But I don't look at Milwaukee as a dark horse, though. Dark horse. I looked at them as like they legitimately have a good shot. So I don't know if I look at them as so much of a dark horse as I would say. I think kind of what Gonzo was saying in St. Louis. I see St. Louis being a dark horse, and I also see San Diego being a dark horse.
I think St. Louis is going to make a move for another starting pitcher before the trade deadline.
That'd be a good pick for him.
There's rumors that they might try to get Castillo from Cincinnati. I don't think Cincinnati's going to trade they might trade Castillo, but I don't see him trading him within the division. But there was a couple other starting pitchers that have been rumored to be going to the Cardinals because they get one more starting pitcher. That really helped the Cardinals. That's their weakness right now is they have two starters that's doing everything, and the rest of the starting rotation is struggling. Wainwright and that McCullers are the only ones out of their starters that are pitching very good. Their bullpen's pretty good, but they need at least one more top starter to get in that rotation, or at least even if a top starter, a guy that can give you six quality innings.
So right now, if you were looking at the wild card as it stands, you got Tampa at +1, Boston at +0.5, and Toronto basically is dead even. So, yeah, man. I mean, and then I don't want to overlook Seattle either because Seattle's 3 games back of the wild card either. But I just see Toronto being the better team.
Seattle's problem is hitting the ball. They have good pitching, but they struggle to score runs.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Chicago White Sox have been a real disappointing team so far this year.
Yeah, they have. Holy crap.
I thought they were going to be a pretty good team in the American League, and they haven't performed at all.
I've seen, and I think some of the problems with the White Sox is their manager, Tony La Russa, man. I see him make some questionable calls. He's had some questionable calls on an intentional walk and a few other things. When you got 2 strikes on a batter and then you're going to intentionally walk him, why?
Tony La Russa was a great manager back in the day.
I think his time is past.
He has to be close to 80 years old.
Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's close to 80.
He has to be close to 80 because I remember him.
My question is, too, though, how I feel about Boston.
That's another team.
I think my issue with Boston is their pitching
improving a lot, though. I'm not going to lie. Their bullpen is improving.
Yeah, most of them is their offense. They are so streaky on offense. Because they have a good.
Getting Selbach for sure was a good thing, but as you saw last night, they gave up the grand slam. So, man, I don't know. That bullpen to me is still there, or not so much the bullpen as a starting pitch. They did get, like I said, they got Selbach, but it's their pitching. For me, it's more. Granted, to Gonzo's point, they do need to get more consistent on their offense, but that pitching is just, man, I think that's their Achilles heel.
Oh, actually, Deontay, I'm gonna take that back. Reds are gonna beat the Rays today.
Uh-oh.
I hadn't looked at the game yet. Castillo's on the mound. We have our ace on the mound, so I think we'll have a good chance today. But they got their ace on the mound too in McClanahan, so it ain't gonna be no easy task.
But sometimes though, it depends on if your pitcher comes out and has his stuff working. Because, like I said, I saw when Urquidy, he's our worst starting pitcher, and he came up with a 4.34 ERA, but then again he goes and pitches 6 or 7 hitless innings against the Yankees. So I just think it kind of depends on how that particular pitcher comes out that day and if he has command over his stuff or not.
And it's also big for a pitcher if they can go that first inning, go a clean inning, like go 1, 2, 3.
Right.
I think it settles them down, and you see them guys getting a groove. Where if they struggle in the first inning, it seems like they start struggling with their command the whole game a lot of times. For a pitcher, to me, that first inning is so important.
Yeah, exactly.
Going into the All-Star break, who would you have as the MVPs?
Oh God, I don't know, man. I got to be honest with you, man.
You have to have Judge and Ohtani up there for the AL MVP. You have to have both them in the conversation. Now, in my opinion, I mean, Judge already has over 30 home runs. He's on pace.
Does he have like 30?
Yeah, he's on pace to over
exactly
60.
30. Yep.
Before the All-Star break. He's been pounding the ball.
I like Jordan Alvarez.
Yeah, that's my boy.
And the Yankees messed up with Judge. They just cost themselves some millions because they didn't get a contract signed with him before this season. If he finishes,
and the owners staying quiet about it. He's not even speaking out on it.
Oh yeah, they cost themselves some money because Judge is really going to get paid.
I think before I could give Judge that honor of AL MVP, I've got to see him finish the season first. Because right now he's out with injury.
Better years than Alvarez, though. I really don't.
I don't think he is either. I know. Let me see here. Hold on. I was actually looking that up.
Judge is a sexier name, but Alvarez is playing better.
You have Ohtani that's starting to come on strong as well.
Well, he has been in a
what he can do on the mound and bat.
I don't think I would have Alvarez. I really think the MVP comes down to
Alvarez and Judge.
Alvarez and Judge. The thing about Ohtani, what I don't like about that is the fact that, I mean, is it an AL MVP hitting award? I don't know, because Ohtani, that is what makes him good, though, is the fact that he's a jack of both trades, but a master of neither.
So he thinks he should be a master at both?
I'm saying he's a jack of all trades, but a master at none. In other words, he can pitch hell of a good. He can hit hell of a good, but he's not at the top of the hitting category. He's not at the top of the pitching category, but he is in the mix of, being good at both. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Who's having a better year?
I know for a fact he's not the best pitcher in basebal, but he's not the best hitter in baseball either. But he's just good as an all-around, I guess if you want to say all-around player, then, which I guess, you could say, well, that's what the MVP is. So, I don't know. Fuck it.
Who's having a better year, him or Jose Ramirez?
Oh, in terms of pitching?
Yeah.
I'm talking about hitting. I don't know. Who's Jose Ramirez? I don't even know who the fuck is that guy.
Jose from Cleveland?
Oh. Yeah, Cleveland. Ramirez.
See, I think the MVP award is kind of confusing in that realm because Ohtani he's just not your typical player. Like, there's no way that, honestly, Judge or, Alvarez can ever beat Ohtani at the MVP if we look at it as all around, because they don't pitch. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's kind of like in that specific scenario, Ohtani will always have the advantage if that's how we're looking at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wonder how the voters look at that.
Yeah, and because I just think it's an unfair situation. Well, I mean,
on the other hand, though, you see how hard it is to do what Ohtani's doing, because you see these teams when they get way down position players in the pitch, and if them guys are lobbing watermelons up there.
Oh yeah, I get it.
So it shows how hard it is to do what Ohtani does. So yeah, I'd like to know what, like you're saying, what's the MVP? The people that vote on how do they look at that? Because he plays multiple positions, and there's not a whole lot there ain't nobody else doing what he's doing.
Well, he does a specialized position, but then he does a hitting position. So yeah. I just think in that sense that
when he's not pitching, he DHs.
Yeah. Or he does and then he does both. He'll pitch and DH in the same damn game. So I think it would be almost impossible to ever beat him in an MVP when he's doing that, if that's how they're classifying it.
What about
I still think it's Alvarez and Judge.
So Alvarez is batting .312. He's got 26 home runs, four less than him, but he's got 59 RBIs, on base percentage at .410, 81 hits. So I mean, that's him. And if we look at Judge, let's see where Judge is real quick. And then that because to me, if he's only got 4 home runs, that's the only difference maker. Then I don't know how you would just give it to Judge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My problem with Judge has always been it's either a home run or bust.
Yeah, because he strikes out a hellified. He strikes out a lot.
All-around game. It's like either he's gonna hit it or it's gonna be like,
Well, that's what sucks to me about baseball nowadays. That's what it is. Baseball is now. It's a home run or strikeout. You don't see the small ball played anymore.
So here's the deal. So Judge comes in at 287. So Alvarez has the better batting average. Judge has 4 more home runs, but he only has 64 RBIs, where I think Alvarez was around 81 or 82 RBIs. So he's got him in that. He has on-base percentage is .366, so he's got him there. Now, they're almost about even on hits. But if you look at on-base percentage, RBIs, and average, Alvarez has the better stats. Really, truthfully, the only stat that he has over him is home runs, and he's only got that by 4. So if you look at me as an MVP and you look at the all-around hitter, then right now, where they stand currently, you got to give it to Alvarez.
Yeah.
I agree. What about in the NL? Who y'all have?
Oh, that's a good one too, man. Damn.
I don't know how to say his name in St. Louis. I'm just gonna say
I know
Paul.
who you're talking about,
I'm
though.
gonna say Paul. I'm gonna say Paul.
Yeah, and I know exactly who you're talking about, and he's definitely up there at the top.
Mookie Betts is playing very good too. I'll say that, and Manny Machado has too.
Yeah.
Even though I can't stand Manny Machado.
Yeah. Hold on. I gotta get this guy's name because I know who you're talking about, and I do agree.
I think that's how
Goldschmidt. Paul Goldschmidt. Yes. Yeah, that would be my guy.
He's playing great.
Yeah, Goldschmidt's playing great. Then you have
he's gotten 342.
That Gonsolin is a pitcher. He'll probably get the Cy Young because I don't think they'll give just a flat out pitcher the MVP. But he's like 11-1 with the 1 point something ERA on the season.
I like Dansby Swanson from Atlanta too, though. He's playing very well.
Yeah, but I don't think he's batting 342. This dude, damn. I mean, 342 is pretty damn high. That means his strikeouts are damn low. He's got 19 home runs, 105 hits, on base percentage almost at 500. Damn. RBIs around 60. I mean, the guy is playing damn good.
It's all around hitting.
Yeah, so he's got 73 strikeouts, 44 walks, 4 stolen bases, slugging percentage at 619. Slugging percentage with on-base percentage is at 1.045. That's stupid. 1.045 on-base percentage and slugging combined? Damn.
And in this day and age, you don't see many guys hitting 350.
No.
Because of what Deontay was talking about. It's home run or strikeouts. So you don't see the guys hitting over 300 as much as you used to back in earlier times.
Wow.
Because if you look at
even if we're looking at Swanson's only hitting 298.
Yeah, and most teams batting average is like 240, 245. They're lower this year than usual.
342, man. That's pretty damn impressive.
The front runner, I think, is probably for everybody is Paul Goldschmidt from St. Louis.
I'm going Paul Goldschmidt. If I had, based on what I've seen, I'm going with Paul Goldschmidt. I don't even think it's. I mean, yeah. I'm comfortable saying that for sure.
You unfortunately got to put Manny Machado in there too. Unfortunately,
I don't know.
I can't stand.
Where's Manny at? Hold on. Before we just say we gotta put him in there. Hold on. Machado.
Jason, let me look this.
Okay, damn it. Okay, I'll give you that. 315 batting average. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know. His batting average is at 315. Home runs are at 13. RBIs 47. On base percentage 387. Hits 87. I mean, if you look at him compared to Goldschmidt, you can technically have to put Machado in there, but he don't hold a candle to Goldschmidt.
Yeah, I think he's not playing better, but you got to put him. He's at second at least, probably second or third.
The only one I just want to look at one more player real quick before I say I got to put him in there. But yeah, I see what you're saying though on that as well. I just want to see where Mookie Betts is before I give him that overhead nod. So the stats, we look at Mookie Betts. Man, Turner's got a 305 batting average though. But yeah, not nearly as he's still kind of underneath him. And then we go to Mookie Betts, and his batting average is yeah, he's 277. Even his on base percentage and slugging percentage is at .914, which is not too far off of Goldschmidt. And his slugging is at 561 with the 354 on. But yeah, I think Machado probably comes in at a distant second, but Goldschmidt, he's just far above everybody else, man.
All right, Jay, let me ask you a question. Move over to football for a minute. I heard a report this morning that the Dallas Cowboys had a chance to get Von Miller he told Dallas that he would take less than what Buffalo offered him. And
Yeah,
Dallas
we're talking about tomorrow. We're talking about that's going to be on the list for tomorrow night. But yeah, I'll go ahead and talk about it though. Yeah.
You think that's a mistake by the Cowboys?
God, man,
I didn't know it was on the list for Saturday night. I saw it this morning.
Oh no, don't worry about it. You're still going to come on Saturday unless you got wrestling.
I should be on. I think we got a car show, but I think I should be home before they.
So when I think about Von Miller, it's I gotta think of like, okay, the Cowboys are obviously at the cap. We could bring Von Miller in. He would take less. I think they should have tried to at least see where Von Miller was looking at in terms of money. I know he basically, he saw the Cowboys offer. He felt it was lowballed. He felt a little bit disrespected by that. And so then he basically said, screw you, and signed with Buffalo. I think if I was Jerry Jones and I'm talking to his agent, I'd be like, okay, Von, give me your number. What's your number for the Cowboys? And then he'd give me his number, and then I would think, okay, let me see, what we can do. And then I'd probably go back, if I was Jerry, and crunch some numbers, see if I could make it work financially, and then maybe even give him a little bit less, and then see if he can meet him in the middle, because Vaughn was willing to take less. I think if Jerry would have approached it the right way, I think him and Vaughn could have worked something out and brought him into the Cowboys. And I'm not opposed to bringing him into the Cowboys and putting him at that line spot. I figure Vaughn's got maybe 1, maybe 2 years left in him. I don't want to give him too much because Vaughn does have a history of injuries. So,
yep.
You got to be careful about how much you give a guy who does have that, even though his experience is still out there. So I would have cautiously given him an optimistic contract, but I'm not going to break the bank or do anything crazy to try to get him in there either. So I'm okay with not having Von Miller. I've kind of moved on from that. But the fact I am kind of upset with Jerry, only for the fact that I felt like, if you did lowball him, why would you do that? Why would you even, why not talk to him before? Don't just come up with an offer. Just get his number first and then see what you could work with. That's, I guess, with the Cowboys, that's where I would be mostly upset.
Yeah, because it kind of sounds like that he was. I mean, according to what he's saying, he'd been willing to take a little less, or at least talk to him and see what, like you said, see what his number was, because he definitely would have helped your guys' defense if he can stay healthy. Because he does have had some issues in the past with injuries,
right?
But
and that's it. That's it. I think if he gives him his number.
He hasn't really showed many signs of slowing down. Look what he did with the Rams last year.
Honestly, but Jerry probably thinking, oh, we have Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence. We have all these weapons. He's probably thinking, like, I can see what I can get for Von Miller, but he's not really intrigued on it. That's the problem. I think he probably wasn't that intrigued on getting Von Miller, which I don't know why. He's still Von Miller, but...
and again, though, I mean, you have to be careful, though. I mean, I know he is Von Miller, but, you don't want to go too far outside your financial comfort zone because he does have age on his side and he does have history of injuries. So, you got to be careful with, with how you do that as well. Because the one thing you don't want to eat is a contract that's going to, get you over the cap and then you lose him to an injury and then you're like, damn,
Well, honestly, y'all front seven not to be worried about on defense. It's honestly... You guys are secondary.
Oh, yeah, it's always secondary. That's always down. Well, Dallas had 2 issues. One, you're right, was secondary, and the second one was the run-stop defense. We weren't able to really stop.
I agree. Run stop. Yeah. I agree with run stop.
How do you feel about Prescott at the quarterback?
Man, he gets a bad rap. I'm okay with Prescott. I'm not really, that whole thing with the playoff. That part of it was him. Part of it was the coach's play calling. But if you look at Dak over the season, I mean, he did have almost 5,000 yards passing, and he's a good quarterback. I think he gets a bad rap. Now, do I think he should have been paid? I don't know. I don't think he's worth the money they gave him. That's kind of where I get conflicted with that as well.
Same here. I don't think he's bad. I think he's in the Kirk Cousins realm.
Yeah, I do have an issue with how much they paid him, but hey, it's the NFL, man. Listen, let's be honest. Lamar Jackson out there, he's his own damn agent. and he's probably going to get this astronomically large contract. And do we think he's going to be worth what he?
Problem is big. He's probably going to get as big as Deshaun Watson.
I don't know. I think he gets bigger. I think with the way the contracts have been flowing,
almost to the $300 million range.
I think he gets close.
Especially if he don't sign anything before this season and he balls out this season, I look for him to get close to the.
I just need my Chargers to compensate Justin Herbert well. That's all I.
Well, you know what though, but that's the way the NFL works. Everybody's contract is always bigger than the last guy that signed. That's just the way they're paying them.
You even got to be as good as them.
No, you don't. You don't.
The NBA, you got to have some talent. You got to be almost all-star level to be there. NFL, you can
have one good season.
You can be Kirk Cousins and get a $200 million contract.
I mean, let's be honest, man. Listen, if you want to base off talent, I mean, you made Aaron Rodgers the highest paid quarterback in the league at $50 million. Do you honestly think that Aaron Rodgers is worth $50 million a year? I don't.
I don't think no
I
quarterback.
absolutely don't.
If I'm be honest, I don't think no quarterback's worth $50 million a year.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either. I will say Tom Brady.
There's Tom Brady. Tom Brady different.
I give Tom Brady $50 million. I would give Tom Brady, but that's probably the only. He's the only one legitimately.
I'd have gave Peyton $50 million.
I'd have gave Peyton $50 million.
I'd have gave Peyton Manning $50 million.
I think Peyton Manning in his prime, I'm giving him $50 million. I'm not giving the Denver Broncos version of Peyton Manning $50
I'm not giving last year Denver Broncos.
Yeah,
but you know what? Hey, when Peyton won the first Super Bowl with the Colts, now I give him $50 million because I got youth on that side.
And those are like top 5 quarterbacks ever. People's like, we love Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is a solid quarterback. I think Aaron Rodgers is in the top 10. The problem is postseason. Aaron Rodgers is him and Peyton Manning are the two best regular season quarterbacks ever. The difference between him and Peyton Manning is that Peyton Manning will, at one point, you got to be honest, at one point in Peyton Manning's career, he didn't perform as good as he did in the playoffs, as in the regular season. Aaron Rodgers at that state now, but Aaron Rodgers is like, he gets worse and worse every year at age in the postseason.
And some of that wasn't all on Peyton either, because some of them games they lost in the playoffs.
But some of them wasn't on Aaron last 2 years.
No, I agree with some of it wasn't on Aaron either. But like with Peyton, some of them games the defense, the offense will score 30 points and they'd still lose a playoff game.
Yeah, I ain't going. That's the same thing with Aaron. I knocked Aaron Rodgers the last 2 years.
Yep.
Against the Bucks when it was third down and you try to, instead of you running in, you try to throw it. I give you that. And last year against San Francisco, because your defense did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah. The other years, you're right. The other years, it's been mostly the defense's fault.
This is the first time I've heard people actually blame Aaron Rodgers for it. But hopefully he do something because Devontae Adams is gone. My thing about quarterbacks getting paid that high, because that means most of your weapons are gone.
Hey, if he balls out this year with the receivers he has on that team, and they can get to where he got last year, people are going to have to get off of him a little bit.
Yeah,
he don't have no weapons.
Yeah, that's true. He has
come on, Damien.
Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr.
Aaron Rodgers equals Derek Carr. Oh,
Derek.
You know what, though? Honestly, if you take away that one Super Bowl with McCarthy, I think McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, that one specific year, they combined and they worked well with each other, and they did get the Super Bowl. But both that coach and that quarterback haven't done anything since then. Honestly,
he hasn't done a whole lot in the playoffs, but he's one of the best throwers of the football we've ever seen.
I agree. Has one of the best arms ever. Because it's like ball placement, accuracy, arm strength. Aaron Rodgers is there.
He struggled some in the playoffs, but if you just go by arm talent, he has one of the most talented arms we've ever seen in the game.
He's arguably the best regular season quarterback ever. Him and Peyton Manning is neck and neck.
I think Dan Marino gets overlooked a lot in terms of regular season quarterback and arm strength and things like that. Dan Marino had a pretty good arm.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of quarterbacks
His release was quick too.
Huh?
Dan, release was quick.
Yeah, he had a quick release. Well, he had to have a quick release.
People kind of forget about him because he never,
In some cases, he did. I mean,
and that's what's
he had to
sad.
have that quick
Because
release.
Marino was great, but a lot of people forget about him because he never won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But
That's how it always be with people that never won like the big game. Because for example, you hear how a lot of these NBA players talk about Charles Barkley.
Yep.
But you talk to a lot of people like grew up that or played against or watched Charles play. Everybody talk about how good Charles Barkley was.
Yep. Oh, Barkley was good. Barkley was good. He was kind of like Zion coming in the league now. That's how Barkley was like Zion coming in the league back then. He was a big athlete that nobody ever really seen like that.
I said because I ain't gonna lie, in the world of sports, team sports, championships matter. You're not gonna be remembered unless you win.
Yeah, but damn, if championships mattered though, then we would be looking at Troy Aikman being better than what's his face, Aaron Rodgers. Troy Aikman got 3.
I hate that Troy Aikman conversation. I hate the Troy Aikman. He's never threw more than 20 touchdowns.
Don't matter. He got more hardware. I'm not saying that Troy Aikman's better. What I'm saying is you can't go by hardware. Is my point. Because if we're going by hardware, then Aikman trumps him.
Why do you think Eli Manning's going to the Hall of Fame? It's because of hardware.
Yep.
It's not because.
I don't know. I mean, Eli, he was going to go to the Hall of Fame. Was Eli the greatest quarterback ever? No, but he played well enough to get to the Hall of Fame. He did, even outside of the
Super Bowl rings.
He played well enough. I'm going to give Eli his due.
What'd you say, Deontay?
Even without the Super Bowl rings, you think he played good to make it?
Well,
without the Super Bowl rings, I don't think he would have made the Hall of Fame.
If it was for Super Bowl rings and his last name being Manning.
I don't think as much as last name being Manning. I think it's the Super Bowl rings and he beat that Patriot team that was
he beat Tom Brady twice.
Yeah, beat Tom Brady twice.
Tom Brady's ass.
The season.
That gives you a lot of notoriety if you beat Tom Brady twice.
So yeah, he had a 15-year career. Not bad, man. Jose. Yeah, he does. I mean, he did have a bad. I mean, 366, 244 touchdown interception ratio, 57,000 yards. Yeah, he's all right.
You talking about Eli?
Yeah, that was Eli's stats. Mm-hmm.
Led the league in interceptions like 2 or 3 times, did he?
Yeah,
I think so. There toward the end of his career, I'm pretty sure he did.
He's gonna make it.
So Manning was 8-4 in 12 postseason starts, and he owns the franchise playoff record with 400 pass attempts.
That right there is what gets him in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I go a lot postseason. Is different. He's a great postseason quarterback.
Yeah, he was better in the postseason than he was in the regular season.
Well,
you don't see that a whole lot.
You know what they're saying? Nobody gives a damn about the regular season. We only care about the postseason.
The thing is, you got to make it to the.
Well, you got to make it there for sure. You still got to make it there, obviously.
And the Giants didn't always put. Earlier in his career, they put pretty good weapons around him. They didn't always put a lot of weapons around them, especially at the receiver position. There
now,
for a while.
I will say this. Hey, to your point, Deontay, and really, I guess to your point too as well, Chris. So his overall win-loss record was 118. So he was a 500 regular season quarterback.
Average, he wasn't good to me, but he wasn't bad. Should he make it to Canton?
So I guess Deontay, really to both of our credits, hardware, I guess, does play a big part, like you said, and get into the Hall of Fame. But I don't think the hardware in another conversation where we're talking about who's the better quarterback matters.
No, I don't think that matters. And who's the better?
So I think it depends on what the question is as to whether or not the hardware matters.
I think legacy wise, is gonna matter, like rankings, all time accolades.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at, like, for example, I'm gonna give a great example. Draymond Green to be example.
Right.
There's players that's not gonna make it to the Hall of Fame that was better than Draymond.
Yep.
Draymond's gonna make it because
absolutely. I agree with you.
For example, Marcus Aldridge was better than Draymond. Marcus Aldridge is most likely not gonna make it. you have players that's never won. DeMarcus Cousins at his prime was better than Draymond. He's not going to make it, but Draymond is going to make it because he can use that. I'm a 4-time champion.
You know, DeMarcus Cousins doesn't get hurt and stays healthy. That would have been that dude was a terror.
He was.
That's just like when you talk about the best quarterbacks ever. Brady's going to be known as the GOAT. Brady's going to be known as the GOAT, but in my opinion, he's the winningest quarterback. He's
the most accomplished quarterback to me. But if we're talking about head to head, I think Peyton Manning was better head to head than Tom Brady. If you're looking at who would you rather start your franchise with in their prime?
Yeah,
like it's Troy Aikman and Steve Young. You said Saquon or Zeke. That's hard.
Who's under more pressure? I say Saquon.
I say Zeke
because he's coming off so many injuries, and this might be his last.
Zeke got paid. He got paid. He hasn't showed nothing since.
That's true.
If you ask me, I think they're both under equal amounts of pressure. The same, man. I think Zeke, because of the contract that he got and the lack of production for which he's given. I say Saquon too, because the fact that he's been injured pretty much 100% of his career. And yet he has to produce as well if he wants to get another contract. So for different reasons, I think they're both under the same type of pressure.
It sucks for Saquon because he's shown flashes of being an elite back, but he can't stay on the damn field.
Zeke showed that he was an elite back.
Yeah, and then
he hasn't been the same since.
He went to Cabo. What is the he went to Cabo, got in the sand, and that what Skip Bayless says.
They said got in Cabo, got in the sand and start running as slow as sand. Yeah. I don't know what happened with Zeke. Zeke was like Zeke and Todd Gurley were like, well, it's Todd Gurley because of injuries. Zeke, I don't know. It just one year he led the league in rushing, and he just wasn't the same after that.
I think it was some guys lose some of their fire when they get that big contract. Sometimes when players get that big contract, you find out who the players are that love the game or are there for more to make the money. And I think he lost some of his fire. What'd you say, Deontay?
Jay, what you think?
So, initially what I want to say, but it's not the truth, but what I would like to think in my brain is, it's not so much Zeke as maybe it was the offensive line that giving him the holes. But then a guy named Tony Pollard came into the situation and blew that theory completely out of the water because Pollard was getting his yardage. He just wasn't an every down back, but when he was in there, he was getting good yardage. So with Zeke, I think part of it is probably the payday. I think the other part of it is lack of conditioning and heart, desire, and passion on his end.
You don't think he loved the game as much as
I think Zeke has the tools, but the motor, the drive, the dog within him.
I said that's what separates him and Dak too. I think Dak actually loved the game of football. I don't think Zeke loved it.
I don't think so either. Yeah, I don't think so. I think Zeke is more into fashion and doing whatever than he is.
You know who Zeke remind me of?
Playing the game.
James Harden.
Yeah,
they just.
I don't know.
They love the sport because they good at. They play the sport because they're good at it.
Yeah, they like the things that come along with it.
Yeah, James Harden's the same way. James Harden loves the things that come with basketball.
Well, actually, hey, I'll tell you what ruined James Harden was Khloe Kardashian is what ruined James Harden.
You're gonna blame all the Kardashians.
Man, I'm blaming the Kardashians. They ruined that man. Once they got their paws into him, they ruined him.
How you feel about Devin Booker and the Jenner? The Jenner.
Man, hey, that's another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust.
I didn't know he was dating Kendall Jenner until they said, "Oh, they lost by 50 against the Sun, against the Maverick." I said, "Oh, Devin Booker and Caitlyn Jenner are broken up." I said they were dating. I said that's why.
Yeah, man. Hey, they put something in that Kardashian water that's like kryptonite to athletes.
Lamar Odom was with one of the Kardashians as well, wasn't he?
He was with Khloe.
So was Chris Humphrey. Blake Griffin.
Who hasn't been?
What these guys gonna learn?
Hey, she said, "Hey, there's an A, B, C, or D question. Just tell me which one hasn't been with Khloe."
You also have, I think Ben Simmons has been with I think Kendall win last year with that debacle against Atlanta.
Yeah,
I think they were dating.
Zeke has been Simmons of the NFL.
Ben Simmons hasn't been the same since.
Telling you, man. They put something in that Kardashian water.
Running backs peak is only 3 to 4 years in most cases. Yeah,
well, and that's true. I mean, because of the physical wear and tear that goes into their bodies, they don't last as long. But the great ones tend to last.
Yeah, we consider Zeke was a great one. We consider Zeke was like a generational type, like I wouldn't say Adrian Peterson, but at that level. Like for example, Todd Gurley. If Todd Gurley never got hurt, Todd Gurley would be probably one of the best backs in football.
Zeke's never had a bit.
That's my thing. Zeke's never had an injury for real. That like Zeke was Zeke got suspended, missed a couple games like that. He was never just hurt while he missed games. That's why we're in shock.
Yeah. I tell you, I look at a guy like Priest Holmes. That was a guy who had a motor. That guy had a motor like nobody's business. That guy would run for days and days and days out there in Kansas City. Back when Kansas City was terrible.
Same way with Frank Gore.
Same thing with Frank.
Frank Gore played forever. Oh my God! That guy
you just give him the ball, and
he was never great. He was never flashy. He was always kind of a average kind of running back.
He was always a top 10 running back. I think he was always a top 10.
You think Frank Gore was top? I don't think Frank Gore was top 10.
During his career, he was. I don't think all time now, no. But I think during his career, he was a top 10 running back.
He had a lot of good seasons.
He had a lot of good seasons.
Like, what year would you give him top 10 in?
When the 49ers was like an NFC championship, like during his prime, but he played on a lot of bad 49ers teams. I'll give you that. Was he better than Fred Taylor?
I think he was better than Fred Taylor. No. I think Fred Taylor was better. I'm sorry. I definitely think Fred Taylor's better.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a tough one. Is he better than Maurice Jones-Drew?
Man, I love Maurice Jones-Drew. That guy was small.
I hated Maurice.
But that son of a bitch could run you straight the hell over. Oh my God. MJD was a bad dude in his prime.
He ran for like 300-something yards on the Colts the year the Colts won the Super Bowl. I couldn't stand Jones-Drew.
That man used to run wild. You know who else used to run wild too? Steven Jackson when he was in St. Louis. It was Steven Jack. You also had Michael Turner up in Atlanta. He ran wild. DeMarco Murray in Dallas 1 year ran wild.
Yeah, he did.
And Shady McCoy used to give Dallas the business. I used to be a huge Shady McCoy. I hated the Eagles, but I love LaShawn McCoy.
McCoy was a good running back.
Yeah,
he kind of fell off quick from being the. And another guy that was real good, Le'Veon Bell, and look what happened to him after he
the money got him. We realized that
Le'Veon.
We knew
he went straight into the toilet.
Well, it's the Jets. If you ever go to the Jets, you just know your career's over with.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's the same thing with Detroit too. Barry Sanders was the only one that only running back that really did well in Detroit. And
could you imagine if Barry Sanders would have ever had a? Could you imagine if Barry Sanders would ever had an offensive line? If he got out of Detroit and had an offensive line, could you imagine the numbers he might have put up?
My thing about Detroit, 3 best players, all of them hated playing for Detroit.
Yep.
2 of them retired, and 1 went to LA and won a Super Bowl his first year. I know that made Detroit Lions fans like, dang, we just suck.
Sanders wanted out of Detroit so bad he retired early.
Calvin Johnson did the same thing.
He could have still been playing, but
people talk about his injuries, but Calvin actually said on TV, is like, the Lions wouldn't let me go. I didn't want to play for the Lions.
And then they made him give back some money and shit too. He had to give back some of his money when he retired.
Nobody wants to play for Detroit. That's like the bottom. I think that's the worst team franchise in sports. Detroit. Detroit Lions.
Yeah, that's where careers go to die.
It used to be the Cleveland Browns.
I was going to say Cleveland is pretty close with them.
Yeah, Cleveland.
Oh, no. Cleveland still is way ahead of Detroit. That's how bad Detroit is.
Nah, Cleveland was – remember, there was one point, Jay, Cleveland only won 1 game in 2 years.
Yeah, but that was a momentary small amount of time. Detroit's been like that way for decades.
Well, Browns were bad for a long time, too.
They did have a very small period of time when they were in the playoffs.
How about the Jets? Who was worse, the Jets or the Lions?
God, Jesus, man. I think the Jets have a better idea of where they're going than what the
I think the Lions
do.
have a better idea. I think.
You think so?
I think I like the Lions.
I like the Lions team more than I like the Jets.
I think Campbell's going to do all right there if
I think the team just
they're patient, give him some time.
Yeah, I think the team just sucked last year. I think they like Campbell. I think the team actually like Dan Campbell. I think the Jets, if you're just on the Jets, you just might as well pray for better days.
So you don't think Salah is going to be able to turn the Jets around?
I don't think nobody can turn the Jets around. I think you got to legit change. You know how Washington had to change their name? I think the Jets have to change theirs.
What about the Giants? Do you think the Giants are ever going to get turned back around? They've been looking terrible.
They've been bad for like 30 years. I think the Giants have. I don't know who will have a better chance. The Giants been saying they're rebuilding for the past 10 years. That's why I get mad. The Jets just know they're bad.
Hey, when I think of the Lions and the Jets, and somebody asks that question, who has the better upside? That's like me saying, "Hey, Jay, go to the toilet, pull out a turd, and tell me which side looks better."
David says
I'm just saying they both suck. It's just which one
Detroit can't be worse than the Falcons. I will say the Falcons have a very bad reputation also. I think their reputation is they can't win the big one. That's their reputation. The Falcons,
the franchise, Detroit's been worse than the Falcons. The Falcons
just can't win the big one.
In the playoffs almost every year there for a while.
Yeah.
There's a few teams that just can't win.
They were competitive.
The Vikings is another team that just can't win the big one. You have the Falcons. You have my Chargers. There's a lot of teams that just can't win the big one. Jacksonville's also been a terribly ran franchise also.
Oh, yeah, Jacksonville. Yep.
Mostly the top 5 teams in the NFL that usually get top 5 draft picks are usually the teams that are terribly ran. And they're mostly either the Giants, the Lions. You have the Jaguars, the Texans. Texans should have knew they were terribly ran after how they did David Carr.
Yeah, they got him killed.
David Carr could never play football the same after that.
No.
I've never seen nobody get sacked like that.
How many
it was like 80-some sacks that year?
It was something like that. It was crazy. And then after that, he was so scared in the pocket, he couldn't do anything. And you can't blame. I mean, you really can't blame the dude. I mean, you can only take so many hits before you're like, "Fuck this! I don't want to get hit no more."
Man, ain't that the truth? Jeez.
And he would get. I mean, and it wasn't even like he was. It was because of him holding on to the ball too long. It was just that he didn't have no time.
His rookie season, he was sacked 76 times. That's David Carr, and that's a record. I feel bad for him.
Oh, why'd Draymond say this time?
So the
I ain't gonna lie, him and Kendrick Perkins going at it has been hilarious.
Yeah,
I don't know how much stock I put into Kendrick Perkins though.
He's saying something about KD, but I'm not. I have the map.
Kendrick Perkins always comes up with some crazy stuff that he says. Though.
Did y'all see ESPN's top 10 poll for corners?
No, I haven't seen that.
They got 1 Jalen Ramsey, understandable. 2 Marshawn Lattimore. 3 Jair Alexander. I'll switch those 2. 4 Xavier Howard. 5 J.C. Jackson. 6 Denzel Ward. 7 Patrick Surtain. 8 Marlon Humphrey. 9 AJ Terrell. And 10 Trayvon Diggs.
They got Diggs.
First off, I got Xavier Howard, the second best corner in football. Okay. Diggs is better than Surtain.
Yeah, the only downside to Diggs is he has to know when to go in and when not to go.
A lot of times he can be boom or bust.
Yeah, But I think over the offseason, I think he works on that and gets better at that. I think he can drastically improve.
He improves on that. He's going to be one of the best corners.
Oh, yeah. He's got the speed. He's got the instincts. Yeah. I don't know if he's 10, though. I kind of don't. I say maybe 7 or 8. I don't think 10.
Who you think he's better than Marshawn? How do you feel about Marshawn?
I don't think he's better than Lattimore. No, I don't think he's not right now anyway.
You think
because,
he's
like
better
I said,
than
his
Denzel
decision
Ward?
making still kind of lacks.
You think he's better than Denzel Ward?
Yeah, I put him right about 7 or 8. That's where I would put him in that top 10.
My only problem, they got my top 5. I'm not gonna lie, they got my top 5. I'll have Jalen Ramsey. Everybody knows Jalen Ramsey is the best corner in football. I'll put Xavier Howard, then I'll put Jair Alexander, Marshawn Lattimore, and then J.C. Jackson.
Yeah, I can see that.
J.C. Jackson is going to be a big pickup for the Chargers this year.
Didn't J.C. start out with the Texans at the very beginning? I know. No, Kareem. I'm thinking of Kareem Jackson.
You're talking about Kareem Jackson from Alabama.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a completely different dude. Never mind.
He was. I know. I hated him in Alabama. I can't stand Alabama. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Tell me how you really feel.
Like, out of all teams in sports, I hate Alabama.
I hate Alabama too. Don't worry about it. You're in good company. I've never liked Alabama. And I love it. And that's the one thing I love about the NIL. I feel like the NIL is going to kill Nick Saban. The transfer portal is going to kill Nick Saban.
You see the top 2 teams in football now? In recruiting now?
It's A&M, I believe, is right there, isn't it?
Yeah, A&M is better than them, but also you have Texas and Ohio State killing them.
Yeah, you know what? Though? I kind of figured Texas would because once Texas moved to SEC.
Well, when Texas got Arch Manning, they also after that they also started.
You know who got happy about NIL deals? Every team in the state of Texas, because they're like, oh, we could finally pay them and not get in trouble.
Oh yeah,
they got all that money, man.
Because they got money. Shit, it's not like they don't have money.
They got that oil money. That's a different type of money.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
I knew.
I'm telling you, man. Texas is gonna be. I knew once Texas moved to the SEC and then the NIL, all this stuff started coming into play. That just changed the game for Texas.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It really the game for Alabama.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Texas Longhorns come back to what they were. Because
I wouldn't be surprised either.
Because all like A&M, people talking about how A&M is number one. A&M, like I was watching Skip Channel, even Skip was like, I know some of them boosters in A&M. When I tell you their pockets is loaded, even the same thing with Texas.
That's why Saban was so adamant against the NIL because he's like, damn.
He said them schools in Texas are about to. Because one thing about folks from Texas, I'm from Arkansas. When I go to Texas, I used to go to Texas a lot. Them boys in Texas can sell anything and make some money off of it. They'll make their money off anything in Texas.
Good old Arkansas. The only thing that makes Mississippi look good is the state of Arkansas.
No, there's Alabama too. The state of Alabama's worse.
No, I just remember that movie. What was the name of that damn movie? It's the one. Oh God, dog it.
Arkansas is pretty bad. There's only one thing in there, and it's water.
Oh, you ever seen that movie Annapolis?
I heard
the one that had the Annapolis. It had where the dude is going to be like an officer, or whatever. That Jake, whatever his name is.
I heard of it.
I don't think I've seen.
Don't watch that movie Annapolis. Anyway, the best line in the movie was like, "Hey." He goes, why didn't you move out of the room? He's like, well, let me tell you something, Jake. You're Arkansas. I'm Mississippi. And right now, the only thing that makes me look better is you. So I'm gonna stay in this room because as long as I got Arkansas, I'm good to go. I was like, yeah.
Did you guys get a chance to see any of Arch Manning's high school games? Have you seen him play?
No.
I can get to watch him. I heard he's like one of the best high school recruits that they've had in a long time.
Yeah, I got to see a couple of his games. They had him on ESPN back during the pandemic. It was a sophomore then, and man, he was good.
But he has like high expectations because like his granddad went number 1, and both his uncles did. So he's like,
hey, do you know what the connection between Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning is? You know there's a connection between them two, right?
what is it?
So back in the day, Archie Manning played for the Houston Oilers, and so did Oliver Luck.
Yeah, they played together.
So every day, Archie Manning would have Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning in the backseat of his car while they would drive to practice, so the two kids could play and hang out and do whatever. So they kind of grew up together in the Oilers organization until, of course, they went their separate ways. But yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. I didn't realize those two guys knew each other prior to, going to college and so forth.
But Peyton Manning, remember Peyton Manning and was it Daniel Jones in Peyton Manning's camp or Eli's? He's in one of the Manning's camp.
Okay,
that's why
Daniel Jones was.
That's why they got drafted so high.
And Andrew Luck went to that camp too.
But Andrew Luck, it was different. He was like one of them generational type quarterbacks.
Yeah, and the Colts ruined him.
Bro,
y'all did.
No, seriously though, because he was still very young when he retired.
I think Andrew Luck, honestly, I think Andrew Luck was better than Patrick Mahomes when Andrew Luck was in his prime.
I do too.
When Andrew Luck was in his prime, yeah.
I'll take Andrew Luck over
let him get killed. He had a lacerated kidney after a game.
Bro, that's no joke.
Get him killed, though. He had to work.
Yeah, he had a lacerated kidney after a game.
Remember, every time he got hit, his shoulder was always messed up.
It's true. That's true, though. Yeah, you're right.
Had a separated shoulder.
Yep. I mean, it was.
He always used to play on one hand, one arm.
And then we finally get an offensive line, and then he can't stay healthy, and then decides to give it up.
You can't. I couldn't even blame when he retired. Everybody was like, "Why Andrew Luck?" I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. If you seen him get killed for like 6 or 7 years, like by the Colts old line, and then they decided to build a team up.
Well, hey, let's not bullshit each other though. Remember when David Carr first came into the league as the first quarterback drafted by the Houston Texans? Listen, when that dude was getting sacked like 80 times, I'm surprised he didn't have a damn lacerated kidney.
I'm surprised he didn't die. He used to get sacked.
Man, hey, serious. But think about it. When you're getting sacked that many damn times, you don't think he got some PTSD right now in his bedroom? Like, oh my God, just freaking wigging out. I
ain't gonna lie. I'm probably, if I Andrew, that's why I don't get mad at quarterbacks. Like if they get sacked a lot and they just go down, people are like, why you go down? It's like, oh, that's them.
Bro, hey, listen, I'm gonna go down and live to fight another day before I try to take this dude on.
Yeah, that's like, oh, he seen them ghosts. Last game, you just realized last game he had 7 sacks.
Yeah, when your quarterback's in trouble like that, you're better off going down, honestly, than risking injury. Because if you lose to injury, now you've done lost the whole damn thing. And then, one play is not a big deal. Punt the ball away, live to fight another day, whatever.
Well, people used to get mad at Marvin Harrison because he'd catch the ball and just drop. It's like, hey, he knew he was small. He done what he had to do to prolong his career. He'd run out of bounds before he took
Look
that.
Look at RG3, and you see why people go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, Washington really screwed over RG3. Like, they really screwed over RG3. But I got to be honest with you, and I think you guys know this, when you're a highly mobile running quarterback like that, or you depend a lot on your mobility, you don't really last that long in the NFL anyway, truthfully.
Honestly, you got to learn how to slide. He didn't learn how to slide.
But I'm just saying, that's why your traditional pass or a drop back or a pocket passers, that's why they last so damn long, because they don't take as many risks.
But, NFL now, they're trying to get more mobile quarterbacks. But I think the difference is now is I think all the mobile quarterback, there's not a lot of pocket passers. It's because all the pocket passers are mobile.
Well, don't get me wrong. I want a quarterback that's mobile too. Don't get me wrong. I want a mobile quarterback. I want him to use his mobility as as a secondary option and not the primary.
Like Josh Allen.
Yeah. I want you to have that mobility so you can escape the pass rush, things like that. Or if I need you to run, okay. But if that's your primary bread and butter is the run over the passing ability that you have, then there's an issue.
But my question, Jay, is like Kyler Murray, big example. Kyler Murray, his first instinct is not run. His is pass. So how you feel about him?
I'm not, God, I don't know. I got mixed emotions when it comes to Kyler.
But no, I agree. I like that.
I think Kyler Murray is a good quarterback, but I don't like. He's kind of right there. He's right there with Dak. He's not great. He's just okay.
I like the style of play. It's just like Mahomes as well. He'll run to get out of trouble, but he's always looking to throw the ball. He's not running first. He's like Deontay just said. He's running, but he's still looking to throw.
But that's what I worry about Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is a run first type of guy.
More than he is fast. About Lamar, he is trying with his arm. Like, difference between him and Vic is Vic was just like at first before Vic would just run. He never like I love Vic, but his arm didn't, and he didn't try to improve on it. Like at least Lamar, he's working, and Cam too. Cam didn't try to work on his arm. Lamar is legit working on his game. I think that's what separates him from them.
Yeah, because with Cam, once you get a few injuries, you lose some of your athleticism, and then the stuff you were doing, you can't do no more. And
for example, Cam got hurt religiously. Now look at him; he looks awful.
And where if he was a better pocket passer, he might still be able to do something. Where he never, like you said, he never developed it because he always depended on his athleticism.
I think that's the problem. I think Lamar's probably thinking you got to realize he's seen like 3 or 4 examples of quarterbacks his style, and they're not the same no more. You had 2 great examples in RG3 and Cam. Those are 2 great examples of look. He's like, maybe I need to learn how to throw more. And he'll be better.
That's what I think. That's what I like about. I do like about Mahomes is the fact that Mahomes can, he's agile, he's mobile, but he can throw the ball too. So like him, a Josh Allen, those types of quarterbacks. Those are the ones that are going to be great, or the ones that are going to go long in the NFL, not just be, a short time and then you're done.
Because I'm not going to lie, just a pocket passing quarterback, I think that's done. Defensive players are too fast now. You got D line.
No, if that's all you are is just a pocket passer with no mobility, then you're a Tom Brady type build.
A Tom Brady
build. A lot of sacks.
Honestly, because back then you could give this Jay. Now D linemen are running 4.4.
Yeah, they're a hell of a lot faster these days.
And not only that, you have now in like high school and at the high school ranks and even younger than that, teams are putting their best player at quarterback, their best athlete. So them guys are growing up
when they are. That's the thing I think that sucks about college sports now. Because even if you go to a high school, if you go to a high school game, they're putting their best like all-around athlete at quarterback, not at receiver, not at run. I personally would have put my best. I'd have made like a Debo Samuel type, but I wouldn't put him at quarterback because you're not learning the game because they're just going to end up switching to wide receiver.
I think that's another reason you're seeing more athletic quarterbacks because the best athlete on the team is getting put at quarterback at a young age instead of back in the day you get put at maybe running back or a receiver and they'd find a quarterback that could stand back there and facilitate.
This is why I like my guy in Justin Herbert because he can run, but he's going to launch it first.
I think Herbert's going to be real good. Have a real good career. I really do.
I'm not going to lie. I'm going to tell y'all this firsthand. If the Chargers don't re-sign Justin Herbert, I'm going wherever he's going. I'll be done being a Chargers fan because
don't do that because then I'm going to call you Freddie, and I don't want to call you Freddie.
Freddie's different. Freddie, I just realized Freddie was a huge Green Bay fan.
He won't tell you that, but he is.
And he was a big Giants fan as well.
That's a different type of coast. He's the same conference. I'll give him that. But
and then like a week before the Rams won the Super Bowl, he became a Rams fan.
Were you here when he said Matthew Stafford's better than Aaron Rodgers?
I don't know. I think I was.
And like we went back and forth. I'm like, Matthew Stafford has 1 year of where he lived up to his hype. Now he's
and all due fairness,
he was in purgatory.
You got to understand. If you look at Matt Stafford, what he did with Odell Beckham, what he did with Megatron, and got the single season record. Then he got it with Cooper Kupp. I think he was always that good. He just was on a shitty team, and I don't think we should hold that against Matt Stafford because he was on a shitty team when he was still doing a damn good job. You know what I'm saying?
I always say Jared Goff's terrible then, and he's on the line.
Oh, but Jared Goff he sucked when he was with LA. So I mean, you can't really hold that doesn't really hold water just because he sucked on a good team, sucked on a bad team, whatever. But honestly, I think if Matt Stafford, if he goes back to the NFC Championship game and even makes it to the Super Bowl, then I don't know, man. I gotta start. I think he still needs another Super Bowl to get better than Aaron Rodgers, but. Man.
Yeah, if he wasn't on Super Bowl, I'd say he's better than Rodgers.
I just would have liked to see Matt Stafford out of Detroit a long time ago, so we could have really got a more accurate, picture of his resume on the winning side of life.
I would like to see the Colts got Matt Stafford instead of him going to LA.
I wonder what made him. Yeah, y'all don't get like the all pro old quarterbacks. Y'all get the quarterback that's like they're done in like 2 years. So they can give us a playoff push.
I'm hoping Matt Ryan has a couple of years left in him.
I think Matt Ryan was just screwed by Atlanta. Atlanta was just bad. I think it wasn't just 100% Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I think Matt Ryan will have a good year. I think he's going to have a good year this year.
He's better than Wentz.
I hope so.
Wentz was the reason y'all didn't make it to the playoffs last year. It was bad when Jim Irsay had something to say about it. The owner never said something about the quarterback was the reason.
No,
but I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be better in Washington though. Carson Wentz. Oh, how you feel about Jalen Hurts, Jay? I feel about
Jalen Hurts. I feel like this is truly his year to really fully come out. I mean, look, he did great. Got into the wild card with the team that he had, which is phenomenal, and he did well in the wild card. I think now that he's got Brown there, now that they got some good defensive players on defense, this really, and he's got a great running back and Sanders and now you got Smith on one side and you got Brown on the other. I mean, he's got all the weapons. He's got the line. He's got the coaching staff. He's got the defense. I mean, this really is his year to go deep into the playoffs. If he can pull the right strings, I think this should be his year, and I like Hurts.
What you place him as NFC East quarterbacks? Where do you rank him at?
Oh man, on the NFC East, until he goes deep in the playoffs, I got him right behind Dak. But if he goes deep in the playoffs, then I'm going to give him the due credit and say that he's better than Dak. So I got to see how deep he goes into the playoffs this year, and we'll see what happens.
Eagles probably improve the best in the NFL. I'm not even going
to
Eagles. I'll say Eagles. I'll put the Chargers in there. Eagles, Chargers, Broncos.
Eagles is all going to depend on Hurts' development. Though they got, they brought in all the weapons.
You don't think he's going to develop? Like, how do you think he's going to play this year, though? I think they're going to win the division. I personally think so. I think this division is going to be probably 1-10-win team. And the rest.
I think Washington's going to win the division.
You would think wrong.
I ain't gonna lie. I like McLaurin. I like Gibson. Adam Wentz is better than Heineke. You get Chase Young coming back.
If that defense can play up to the potential like they were,
and they got Curtis,
I think they're going to be tough.
Over the Eagles, got a top 5 front line in defensive, offense, and defensive wise. They just added AJ Brown, so you still got Devontae Smith. You got Miles Sanders. You got Boston Scott. Only thing, the problem with the Eagles that can be, I don't trust Nick Sirianni.
So I was getting ready to.
Ron Rivera is the best coach in that division. I'll give that. Ron Rivera is the best coach in that division. Because Mike McCarthy still think it's 2011.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. That's the problem, Mike McCarthy. You think it's 2011, and he got Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he's just very antiquated. You know what's interesting to me? I was just looking this up because I wanted to see what the true comparisons were between Stafford and Aaron Rodgers, and I learned something. I guess I didn't realize that But Aaron Rodgers came into the league in 05, and Stafford came in in 09. For some reason, I thought Stafford was in the league longer than Rodgers, but it's actually it's vice versa. But so actually, so Aaron Rodgers has 4 more years doing what Matt Stafford does. But if you look at the numbers, if you look at the yardage, Matt Stafford's at 50,000 and Rodgers is at 55,360. So, really for 4 years, he only really has 1 year worth of throwing stats on him. So I think when it comes to yardage, I'm going to give it to Stafford. But the other 2 is where it kind of gets interesting. So 323 for touchdowns versus 449 for Rodgers. So Rodgers edges him out by over 100 touchdowns. But what hurts, or what I thought was crazy, was he's got 161 picks to 93 for Rodgers. So he's got about 68 more picks. So, yeah, man. I still, you got to have Rodgers better than Stafford. But I think it's going to be real interesting to see what Stafford does this year coming up in the NFL. And if he can get back to the Super Bowl and win it, then I think it gives Stafford the slight edge over or Stafford gets another Super Bowl, then it'll give it a slight edge over Rodgers, even though his stats are a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Who do y'all got? Who's y'all Super Bowl favorites? I'm a biased guy, and we improved, so I'm just gonna say my Chargers. We're in the race, but if I'm not picking my Chargers, I'm not gonna lie. The best team in football is the Buffalo Bills. So I'm about to say, hey, Deontay, come out the bullshit. Be a podcaster. Don't be a fan right now. Buffalo Bills is the best team in football.
There you go. Right. I get it from a fan perspective. We don't want to go against our team.
Oh no, we're number 3. I think we're top 3
but, in the NFC, we got to keep it realistic. Even Gonzo over there in Indiana don't have much outside of Jonathan Taylor to really work with. So I'm just saying. Gonzo's like, fuck you.
I ain't gonna lie.
No, listen, hey, 2 best teams, I think going at it back head to head. I tell you, man, the Bengals still look pretty good to me, but I don't think they get back this year. I am agreeing with Deontay. I think the Bills get to the Super Bowl, and I think they're going to go back up against the LA Rams. So I got Rams and Bills Super Bowl.
I'm not going to lie. Right now, it's in the NFC is the Rams. It's the Rams and Bucks league right now.
It is. It's a Ram and Bucks. Absolutely.
Unless the 49ers snap out of it and just pay.
Come on now. We're not Deontay. We're not going that direction. Hell no.
If
we're not
Debo comes back, you got to like San Francisco.
No. They are too one-dimensional to put in that conversation. All they do is
just run the ball. You don't like Jimmy G?
They were one play away from being in the Super Bowl last year.
Yes.
So why did you put money on it, Chris? If you're so confident.
But I won't put money on it.
I won't put money on it. But I'm just saying.
Chris, you on the money line. Let's put some damn money on this shit.
I won't put no money on San Francisco.
No, hey, I'm just saying. I think that,
I get what you're saying. They just run the ball very well. They run the ball.
Yeah, man. I think when you're that one-dimensional, I'm skeptical on it. That's why I don't really go that direction.
Saints with James Winston.
I wouldn't have him as my favorite, but I mean,
I think Saints with James Winston can give you a good run.
Man, I tell you, man, I think that's another big storyline. I think, Jameis Winston, if he could just stay healthy, man, he gives them a good team.
No, I think if he stays healthy, they can beat. And if they can stay healthy and they get the home field, they can beat the Rams.
But they need Michael Thomas to come back and play alongside Jarvis Landry in order to make that happen.
And they got Chris Olave, though. He's playing their slot.
Yeah, that's true.
Olave, they got.
Well, I'm not going to go all the way in on Ombre until I see how he transcends to the NFL. I'm not just going to jump on a rookie's back like that.
Right now, before the season starts, I would go with the Bills and the Rams.
Yeah, of course you would. I mean, why wouldn't you? I said it first. You like my pick, and, we think alike. Great minds think alike, Gonzo.
I think the Chargers will be. We're going to be there. I think
we're in the AFC Championship against the Bills.
It's going to be interesting to see what the Bengals do this year.
The Bengals are most likely The Bengals is a dark horse team because the one weakness they had, they improved.
Well, I'll say this for the Chargers. You guys did a lot of work on your defense, which was great. But again, the hard thing for you guys is you're probably the most competitive division in all of football, and that's really what hurts you a little bit too.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, that division's gonna be fun to watch. Every week's gonna be like playoffs.
Bro, you are not lying. Honestly, every damn team is good.
You guys say that because y'all are not in the division. Imagine, oh man, we got the Broncos this week. We gotta play the Broncos, Raiders, and Chiefs twice. Which I'm not gonna lie. If you're gonna be honest with you, after they lost Tyrann Mathieu, I ain't gonna lie. And when they lost Tyrann Mathieu and Tyreek Hill, I called my dad and I said, "We have a shot finally."
He said, "Dad, we got a shot."
He said, "You see, they got rid of Tyrann Mathieu. When they got rid of, I said their defense was bad already. They just made it worse." I said, "I don't care who they got from Texans, Justin Reed. They can keep him. They can keep him. I don't care."
Yeah,
now, they got rid of Tyreek Hill. You don't understand. Tyreek Hill gave us 200 yards all the time, or 150. When they got rid of him, I said they ain't got no. I'm not worried about McCole Hardman. I'm worried about Travis Kelce. I'm not worried about Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I'm not worried about them. I'm not worried about Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm worried about number 15. I'm not going to lie about that. But I think the biggest threat to us in the division is the Denver Broncos. So, and that's because the only thing they needed, honestly, was a quarterback. And they finally got one. Because people forget that they got one of the youngest receiving cores, and Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, all of them can play.
Yep.
And you got a running back, and you got a running game too. Which I think Las Vegas is going to be solid, but I think they're going to probably be 9-8 or 8-9 on our division. I like Devontae Adams, but I don't think he's going to be as effective as he was with Aaron Rodgers. So,
off topic. Is it normal? Is it normal to lose power? I think I'm getting paralyzed on the right side of my face. Like when you go to the dentist and they give you those shots and you feel a fat lip, like you can't feel nothing.
Yeah,
bro, I feel like that right now. Like when I try to take a drink out of my cup, I feel like I'm fat lipped and the water's just leaking out the right side of my face.
Yep, I'm not gonna lie. I had that happen to me a few times.
Bro, I think I might have to go to the doctor, Gonzo. I feel paralyzed. Anyway, off topic. I apologize.
Well, who you think? And if you had to pick somebody besides those two, who's your dark horse in AFC? I'm gonna think the dark horse. If I'm gonna pick a team that nobody believes is gonna make it, but they can't make it, I'll say a dark horse. I don't think Cincy's a dark horse team. I think AFC is just hard. I'll say the Ravens is a dark horse team. The Colts is a dark. I think the Colts can make it.
But the Colts got freaking Jonathan Taylor. I'm not putting them as a dark horse on that. And they got who's their quarterback over there?
Matt Ryan.
Yeah, Matt Ryan. My bad.
They're going to win the division. They're winning their division.
So I don't have them as a dark horse. They got a good quarterback. They got a great running back. They still got a couple of wideouts.
All right, are they better than the Bengals?
Yeah, they're not better than the Bengals.
Are they better than the Bills?
No.
Chiefs?
No.
Broncos?
That's where we start to get dicey because I'm going to say yes. I think they are better than the Broncos.
Gonzo,
I think that run game
better than the Broncos.
I got that run game, and they can pass the ball. Just look.
That run game.
Matt Ryan was in the Super Bowl too, so it's not like he don't know how to pass the damn ball. He's not good at that. So
they got somebody else too. Did y'all get Stephon Gilmore too?
Yeah, we got Stephon Gilmore, and then we also added Philip Lindsay to our backfield as well.
That's right, Lindsay. That's the one I was thinking of.
Lindsay is a steal.
I'm telling you right now. My dark horse was Denver. That was my dark horse.
But you're saying with that, you got to say Denver got a Super Bowl winning quarterback. They got
but he's been out of the game for a hot minute on that Super Bowl level. And I'm looking at they do have. I think Melvin Gordon is their running back.
No, they got Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon. Yeah, they do got Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, and they still got Melvin Gordon. And They do have Judy as their. I guess that's their prime time target.
Cortland Sutton too, and Tim Patrick. Those are solid receivers.
But again, I look at that division they're playing in, and I also weigh that division against them.
Yeah, Colts got the best O-line in football, though. I'll give you that. Colts got the best O-line in football. They got the best offensive lineman in Quentin Nelson. So I can say the Colts. That's why I say they're a dark horse in the NFC. Every team besides the Bucks and the Rams are a dark horse. So
you know who else might be a dark horse in the AFC? I can see is Miami.
With Tua?
That's what I was going to say. I don't.
But think about it now. Listen, they are literally locked in at every position with the exception of quarterback. Quarterback, you could say, would be the only position. I get it. But it's not like Tua is completely dog water. He just has injuries. But I think he's had time. He's been conditioning. According to what they're saying, his arm strength is stronger. I'm just saying. That's why they're the dark horse, right? Because it's going to come down to can Tua lead this team? And if Tua can lead the team, then I think they're going to surprise a lot of people.
I just think Tua, if we're the AFC, most of the games are going to be shootouts. Every team that's like got a Super Bowl chance have a quarterback that can go with a shootout with. Miami's the only team that doesn't have a shootout court.
I don't know. They got Waddle. They got Waddle. They got who's their other rival? Yeah, and they got a log jam at running back right now. They've got like 3 or 4. Matter of fact, I think one of them used to be a
but they got a quarterback.
They got Mostert.
You got a quarterback that don't throw further than
10 yards.
He won't throw deep balls. He won't.
But you know what though? But what if he does? What if he improved that arm strength and he's able to throw deep balls? You know, and they also said that Peyton Manning couldn't throw a deep ball, but yet Manning seems to be in our conversations about best quarterback in the top 10.
I can give you that, but do you believe Tua? I think they can win the division though. At best, they're better than New England.
Yeah,
top on paper, but I don't know.
But again, that's the idea of a dark horse is they look good enough, but you're not 100% sure.
How good is this head coach, too?
If they would have
he came out of San Francisco, McDaniel's what? He came out of San Francisco, so I don't think he's dog water.
Is it Mike McDaniel?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, Mike McDaniel.
Well, honestly, it depends because that's
so their running backs are Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, Sonny Michel, and Myles Gaskins. Their wideouts are Tyreek Hill, Jason Waddle, Cedric Wilson, and a bunch of other, I guess.
Cedric Wilson is a good steal from Dallas. Yeah. Not gonna lie.
Oh no, and then they got Gesicki as their
good tight end.
As their tight end. So I mean, it's not like this team isn't loaded and they have a good offensive line. So,
all right, if Deshaun Watson don't get suspended, where do we put Cleveland?
Yeah, if Deshaun Watson doesn't get suspended, I'm probably going to put them in really good company.
Are they better than the Bengals?
No, I still think the Bengals got them. I don't know, man, because they got them. They got a better run game between Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and they got a good offensive line, and they got Cooper. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. That's a damn. But then again, you look at. I think the wideouts are better in Cincy, but I think the run game is better in Cleveland.
The best receiving core in football.
Yeah.
I'll go with the Bengals over the Browns, but I think the Browns would be probably right there.
I think Browns would be in the top 5
division.
I think Browns will be like in that AFC, I think whoever wins that division is going to have the best chance to win that Super Bowl.
Plus, I mean, what's Deshaun Watson going to look like? Because he hasn't played for a while either. Not saying that he's not going to be good, but you know what I mean? It might.
I think he's going to have that Russell Wilson effect. Like, I think him and Russell Wilson is going to be naked. I don't know. That's another hard division too, though. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody talk about AFC West, the South, the North. It's going to be hard because you still got Baltimore. Baltimore, even though we don't like Lamar a lot, a lot of people don't like Lamar. They're still a playoff team. You got the Browns, which with Baker Mayfield, they were highly disappointing, but they're still a playoff team.
Tomlin always has Pittsburgh competitive.
Yeah, Tomlin's going to have Pittsburgh. They're going to win at least 9 games. Because their defense and run game. Like, Mike Tomlin know what he's doing.
If they could get Trubisky just not to turn the ball over, and
I think Pickett going to start over Trubisky. So
he might.
I tell you this, I think I give the defensive. I think the defense for Cleveland has the edge over Cincinnati, and I think the running game is the edge over Cincinnati. I think it's the wideouts for Cincinnati I would give over Cleveland. So I don't know, man. You know what? If Deshaun Watson's quarterback in these Cleveland Browns, I think it could be a neck and neck. Honestly, it could be a neck and neck going against Cincy.
Like, I think in the AFC North and AFC West, those are the only 2 divisions where you don't know who's winning the division.
Yeah, I agree.
Like,
I agree.
Simply know.
Yeah.
If Deshaun Watson plays, it's a 3-team race. In the AFC West, anybody can win the division.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that about Las Vegas, but I gotta admit it because Derek Carr has won the division before. I like Derek Carr.
Him and Adams played together before in college, so they do have some kind of a connection.
But they also got Darren Waller too, and Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah, they got some weapons.
They got a legit squad. I think they probably, out of everybody in that, I believe they probably got better weapons than us.
Yeah.
We'll see if Josh McDaniels learned anything from his first time.
Josh McDaniels, their coach. I forgot. Oh, we got this.
I don't know, man. If you get the Josh McDaniels that went to Denver and head coach there, you're screwed. And because he tried too much to be like Belichick. If you get a Josh McDaniels that goes to the Raiders and then tries to be Josh McDaniels, then you have a chance. But I'm not 100% sold on Josh McDaniels whatsoever. I'm not sold on them yet.
Come on, you think if he's like Denver Josh McDaniels with Tebow, they got a chance?
I just don't think. You know what? I just don't think Josh McDaniels. I'm gonna have to see this year. I guess I'm holding judgment.
Okay, so you feel like we do that Josh McDaniels probably isn't going to work out.
I don't think he's going to work out right now. I don't. I need him to prove it that he can work out. I just think what he did at Denver didn't.
There's one coach in the AFC West that's like locked in. I honestly think.
I'll say fuck Josh McDaniels. Was going to come to the Colts and then left us high and dry.
You're talking about when you say
Gonzo still has some issues there. You'll have to.
We already had a press conference scheduled and everything.
Yeah. Hey, look, we were supposed to get Nick Saban, and then he turned and stood this up for
honestly,
Alabama.
I'm glad we didn't get Daniels, though, because
I think you're better off.
You're talking about what he did in Denver. Has he learned anything from that?
I like Frank Wright, though. I ain't going to lie.
I think Josh McDaniels did you a favor by not going there, truthfully.
He did. But at the time,
I just think you're better off.
I'm not a Josh McDaniels. I'm not a fan of the Belichick tree anyway. I think that there's only one coach that legit was decent, and it was Brian Flores, and he got
Bro, Brian Flores, man. I don't know why that guy did not get a damn head coaching job. Given what he did with Miami, I just don't understand why they did not offer him a head coach job. That don't make sense.
But the rumors is like he wanted Justin Herbert instead of Tua, and he also wanted to get rid of Tua, and Miami to want to get rid of Tua.
But I understand why. Okay, if there was complications between his ideology and Miami, okay, you guys didn't go separate ways. But what I don't understand is when he interviewed with the Houston Texans. I'm just going to take the Texans as an example. When he interviewed with Texans, why the hell did he not get that job? You going to tell me that Lovie Smith is better than Brian Flores? I don't think so.
I think they did Brian Flores a favor because I wouldn't want to coach for the Texans either.
I don't know. I know what? I think Brian Flores could have rebuilt that team. I really think he would have been fine there. It would have been a rebuild. Okay, I get that. But I think the Texans are willing to say, okay, look, man, let's do it. I just don't understand why they didn't. Why would you give Lovie Smith?
I think the Bears should have went and got Brian Flores instead.
Oh yeah, okay, I'm good with that too. They want to go in a different direction, but yeah, I get it.
another team that's
because actually Justin Fields would have probably fit real good in with what Flores was trying to do on offense with Deshaun Watson anyway.
Bears coach is Eberflus. He was the Colts defensive coordinator last year.
Eberflus.
How do you think he's going to do?
I think he'll do pretty good.
But I don't know. How's he going to do on the offensive side of the ball, which is where they need a lot of help with developing a young.
Well, that's where you got to hire the right offensive coordinator.
That's the thing. I'd rather have a defensive minded coach than an offensive minded coach on my team personally. That's me. I'd rather keep a defensive minded coach because you can go find an offensive guru. You can't find a defensive guru anywhere. You can't find a Bill Belichick anywhere, but you can find Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay.
Yeah, it seems a lot easier to find offensive guys than it is the defensive guys.
I just hope Brandon Staley don't go for it at 4th and 5 at our own 20 again. If we don't do that, we're good.
That's what analytics does for you sometimes.
The problem with us was Staley. I've counted. You guys don't understand. I legit went back and looked at some of these games, and 4 out of the 8 games we lost was because of Brandon Staley.
Oh, I believe it.
That's why if we don't make it this year, I will write to them, the owner myself, and say this man got to go.
All right, Jay, you got any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, Deontay don't know what the hell he's talking about, man.
I hate you, Jay.
But I felt like what I love about Deontay Kelly is and I think Gonzo will agree that he's able to learn and grow in things, and I felt like I think we really had a good breakthrough with him, and he understands that Miami and Tua are the true dark horse there. I think he understands that now. So I feel pretty good about today's conversation.
I'll give you they're a dark horse. Very dark, but they're a dark horse.
No, true final thoughts are, it's a good day in sports. We got a lot of good baseball coming up tonight, and I'm really looking forward to, now that we're into the summer league. Even though I grant, we don't put too much stock in the summer league, but at the same time, I do want to. It does kind of give me an idea of where Jabari is, Boncaro, and it's good to see these guys out there doing their thing. So. And again, it's this precursor to the next NBA season, and we got NFL getting ready to pop off in September. So, man, what a time to be alive!
I watched a little bit of the Houston game last night.
I did too. I wanted to see Boncaro play a little bit. Boncaro actually. My thing is the Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren just looks so skinny, bro.
Oh man,
Kenny
Lofton
bullied him in Memphis.
You know what I like though is. I expected Boncaro to come out and have the better game between him and Jabari because, again, he is the most NBA pro-ready guy, whereas Jabari, he's good, but he's still, there's still things he needs to work on, the butterflies, things like that. But, 10, 7, and 6 versus 17, 6, I mean, they weren't too far off of each other. So, again, man, I feel good about drafting Jabari and kind of see where this summer league goes. And as well as Chet, and I think what Boncaro is going to do. Boncaro is going to be good for Orlando, but man, he's going to be the straight up workhorse, for those guys.
Yeah. I think he was the most ready in that draft.
Yeah.
He was the most pro ready. I think Jabari and Chet, their ceilings are high. They're like off the roof. Their ceilings are extremely high. I think Paolo, he's the most ready. Like he's NBA body ready. Like you could tell Chet and Jabari, they're both small. They're skinny. Chet is just very skinny. Jabari is small too.
Bro, 7 foot 195 is damn near like. I feel like I want to go and just get a bunch of food and start, put a feeding tube in him and just force feed him.
Give him some protein or something. Cause I'm like, man, there's no way. Cause I'm like, there's people talk about Kevin Durant, but he's out here trying to block shots. He's trying to go down low, bang. I'm like, bro, there's no way he's going to be.
I see a lot of injuries in Chet's future if he tries to do that in the NBA and not necessarily the summer league, but the NBA. I see a lot of injuries coming down that way.
Yeah,
Hopefully he gets skinnier.
I tell you what, if I'm Orlando, man, Orlando's the one that drafted him. No, right? No, who the hell was it that drafted him? Thunder. I'm the Thunder. Hey, listen, man, I got about 5 nutritionalists that are going to monitor him on a daily basis, and we're going to put some damn weight on that son of a bitch.
You put on about 15, 20 pounds of muscle.
Oh, easily.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not if he gained like 15 or 20 pounds, I'll be like, this okay. He looks like a normal basketball player. Like 15 or 20, but hey, you know what
I'm saying? Like, hey, look, I'm telling you, he's eating 6 times. If I'm the Thunder, I'm telling him, look, bro, you're going to eat 6 times a day. You're going to take a 3,000 calorie protein shake, and you're going to be in the gym. That's your regimen. Eat, protein shake, work out.
Yeah, he need that protein shake. He need to hit the gym. Give him one of the military workouts.
Bro. I'm just saying, because you don't want him to gain fat. You want to put on muscle on him. You know, if you're gonna put on weight, it better be muscular weight. So you got to have him in the gym working out, but at the same time, you got to make sure you got that caloric intake up there enough that he's able to put on the weight as well. So yeah.
All right, you got any final thoughts, Deontay?
Football season's about a month away.
Go Cowboys.
Go Chargers. And it's some good baseball. It's some good baseball coming on today. Chris, I'm praying for you guys to win.
It's going to be a good. It should be a good game. A lot of good baseball.
9:40 tonight.
A lot of good baseball on. You have if you're watch tennis, you have the women or Wimbledon semifinals today. Some golf on. So there's all kinds of stuff sports wise. And if you turn it to any sports station, they'll be talking about Kevin Durant if you want to know what's going on with him.
He's just
real quick, if I can, I'm sorry, Gonzo. My brain is flooded with a couple of final thoughts. I want to get out there real fast. I'm gonna make this super quick. If you're not paying attention in the world of sports, a lot of historical things are happening. And Jonathan Bechter, and we talked about this last night on Unscripted, but Jonathan Bechter, is the president of the San Jose Sharks. And, he brought in the first black GM into hockey. Greer is his last name. And he played 15 seasons or 14 seasons as a player. And, I got to be honest with you. I'm going to show my ignorance like I showed my ignorance last night when I said this. I did not realize, when it comes to hockey, I've had this stereotypical okay, it's a white man's sport, but it's not. Oh my God, the Tampa Bay Lightning, I did not know this. The Tampa Bay Lightning's front court is all black. Had no idea. So I'm learning about, this sport, but incredible, groundbreaking. So, and what I liked about what Jonathan Bechter said, and I think it carries a lot of weight, is when they asked him about hiring Greer, he said, I hired the best candidate in the NHL. He just so happens to be black. And I'm telling you, man, those were powerful, powerful words. And we also saw, I want to give major credit to the Raiders for bringing in the first, and I think she's a president, and Gonzo,
the first black woman president.
Yeah, the first black woman, and the Raiders took that initiative to do that. And again, so we're seeing some changes, Is it as fast as what we want? No, but we are seeing steps, and everything is by a step. And eventually, I think where we want to get to as a sports world, as a country, as a social, we're getting there. It takes time, but we're getting there. And again, major congratulations to those franchises doing the right things, and hopefully more franchises will do the right things, and we'll get where we need to be.
Oh, also another thing. So I know. Me and Gonzo, we're huge wrestling people. So, did you hear about Vince McMahon? I know, Jay, you heard about Vince McMahon.
Don't talk about it yet because we're talking about it. And Deontay, you're coming on the show. Hey, tomorrow night, we're getting into the whole Vince McMahon.
See how much they paid? How much he paid to hush off for his?
Yeah, I saw it this morning, but I haven't really read a whole lot about it. But yeah,
I would say Chris is $12 million.
Bro, Vince, really? You could have had anything. You had to pay for it, man. Damn. And Vince McMahon.
But it's like, it was for hush money, though.
Oh, of course it's hush money.
Yeah, it was like the 4 different one. I'm like, bro, wow. I'm like, Vince, you're a wild boy.
Hey, you know what they say, man? Hey, a fool and his money are soon parted. I'm just saying.
And he don't act like he's too worried about it because he still shows up at all the shows and stuff. So.
No, Vince ain't worried about it. That man got too much damn money to be worried about 12 million. What's $12 million to Vince? That might be like 1,200.
My thing is, like, he said he stepped down in June, and I'm like, he stepped down, but he's still gonna be a part of it.
Okay. Title wise, I stepped down, but you tell me he ain't back there running some shit. Come on.
Oh yeah,
all he is put his daughter up.
Oh yeah, easily.
Daughter, so she's gonna do everything he says, like it's Vince McMahon company still.
And then they brought back his son-in-law.
It's still gonna be same terrible storylines.
Then Triple H came back. So it's going, it'll be fun. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. I'm going to read more about it here after I get done with my sports betting show. But I want to thank everybody for joining us today here at the ASAP Afternoon Blitz, and we will see you guys. Wait, today's Friday, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So we'll see you guys Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern with another episode of ASAP Afternoon Blitz. Thanks for joining us.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.